So today the topic which we are going to start is correlation. So let us first try to understand that what is correlation. When two variables are said to be correlated, if the change in one variable is accompanied by change in other. So in simple words, we can say that when two variables affect each other, they are said to be correlated, right? So for example, petrol prices and car sales, we assume that if the prices of the petrol will go up, the car sales may go down. So it can be, it is an assumption. It may or may not come true, but this assumption we can check whether this assumption is right or not. We can check it through finding its correlation. So correlation, in very simple words, correlation is the relationship between two variables. It can be a direct relationship or inverse relationship. So there are different types of correlation. The first one is positive or negative correlationship. As I told you that there may be two products, two things, two variables which may have a positive or direct relationship. So for example, money invested on advertisement and sales has a direct relationship. We assume that it should have a direct relationship. The more we spend on advertisements, the more sales should increase. So there has to be a direct relationship. This is a best case scenario. But there are certain situations where maybe there is indirect relationship or inverse relationship or negative relationship. So that can be, for example, petrol prices and car sales. So we assume that if petrol prices will increase, the sales of the car would decrease. So there can be inverse relationship or negative relationship. So correlation not always tells you that there is a direct relationship. There can be inverse relationship that is also fruitful for doing some prediction. There has to be some relationship, either direct or inverse. But in case if there is no correlation, then of course you will not be able to predict anything. So this is first type of correlation. Second one is simple, partial and multiple. So in simple correlation, it involves only two variables. First of all, in simple correlation, there is only two variable. And for example, price and demand of any product, there are only two variables. Then second one is partial correlation. It involves a study of three or more variables. So there can be more variables, but it considers only two variables to be influencing each other. So for example, sales of any product may involve n number of factors. For example, price, customer, preference and market competition. But what we do here is we try to identify which of the factor, for example, price, customer preference or market competition is affecting the sales the most. So in partial correlation, what do? We have n number of factors influencing a particular variable, but we try to identify which factor is the most influential. So out of price, customer preference and market competition, which factor is affecting the sale of a product the most? Then the third type of correlation is multiple correlation. So we can divide it into two parts, linear and non-linear. In linear relationship, if there is 1% change in the price of a product, then there would be only 1% change in the demand of the product. So similar, the intensity of change would be similar. But in case of non-linear, if there is 1% change in the price of the product, there can be more or less than 1% change in the demand of the product. For example, there is 1% increase in the price of the product, the demand may go down by 5%. So this is called non-linear correlation. Correlation is there, but it is not constant. It can be varied. So it's just like, elasticity of demand. If prices change by 1 unit, demand may or may not change by 1 unit. It may change hugely or it may not change at all whatsoever. So this is called non-linear relationship. So now there are different types of correlations, different methods to calculate correlation basically. First is scatter diagram, second is Karl-Pearson's, and third is rank correlation. So today we will discuss Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. To calculate Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation, the first thing we need to calculate is covariance. So covariance basically tells you the relationship between two variable, right? So it tells you if product, if one variable increases, for example, we took this example, 1% change in the price. So if there is 1% change in the price, what would be its impact on the, then what would be its impact on the other, the demand of the other product? So, variances, obviously we have studied this thing a lot of time, that standard deviation is basically the deviation from mean value, and we derive variance from standard deviation only. So it tells you the variation from the mean value in absolute terms, and covariance will compare the variance of two variables, right? For example, if one variable's variance is 10 and other variable's variance is 20, so how these two variances are interrelated, this is what we check in covariance. So the formula to calculate covariance is x minus mean into summation of x minus mean into y minus mean divided by n. Okay, so mean is basically, the formula to calculate mean is summation of x divided by n, and mean y is summation of y divided by n. And by, x minus mean, x mean is denoted as small x, and small y is capital Y minus y mean. So let us try to calculate covariance first, because to calculate correlation through Karl Pearson, the first thing required is covariance. So first thing what we are doing here is calculating covariance. So this is the formula to calculate covariance. Let's first calculate covariance. So we have to calculate covariance. Now we have two variables, x and y. This is the value of x. These are the values of y. First thing is we'll calculate summation of x. Summation of x equals to. So we'll calculate the summation here. So this is 25, and summation of y we will calculate. So summation of y is 30. Right. Now we will calculate mean of both the variables by this formula. Yes.
Ma'am, summation of y is
Okay. Okay. So 8 plus 9. Okay. So 10, 19, 19 and 4, 23, 2. I think it's 53. Okay. Okay. So this is y, 5, and summation of x is 25. So this is 5. So summation of y we have to calculate, mean of y we have to calculate. This is 53 divided by 5. So here it comes, 53 by 5 is 10.6, right? Then now we will calculate small x and small y. For that we need to calculate x minus mean. So x minus mean is 3 minus 5 minus 2. 4 minus 5 is minus 1. 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 5 is 1. 7 minus 5 is 2. And we'll do its total. So it comes to be 0. So although we don't need it. Okay. So then we'll calculate small y, that is y minus mean. So this is 8 minus 10.6. This is minus 2.6. 9 minus 10. Minus 1.6. Then 10 minus 10.6 minus 0.6. 12 minus 10.6. It is 1.4. 1.4. Then we have 14 minus 10.6. So this is 3.4. Right. Now we will calculate x minus mean into y minus y mean. So minus 2 into minus 2.6 is 5.2. Then this is 1.6. This is 0. This is 1.4. And 3.4 into 2, 6.8. Right. Now we'll calculate its total. How much? 50. Okay.
15.
Okay. So this comes to be 15. Now we'll just put the value in the formula. Here we have our formula for covariance, right? So n is again 5, and this summation we have calculated is 15. So this is 3. So the covariance is 3. This is the first step to calculate Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. The first thing we need to calculate is covariance. Now we'll understand a full-fledged question, that how do we calculate correlation. Now you can see that the formula to calculate Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation is covariance of x and y divided by standard deviation of x into standard deviation of y. And to simply calculate the standard deviation of x and y, we can also use summation of x square, small x square, not the capital one. See this one, summation of x square. This value, we'll first square it and then we'll calculate it square. And similarly y square, small y square. So this square and then summation. Right? So instead of calculating standard deviation at length, we can directly put the values of summation of x square into summation of y square. Right? So now let us try to understand this question with the help of an example. Give me a second. I'll just start. So here we have our question. From the following data, calculate Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So what information is given to us is 60 height of the father and height of sons. So different data is calculated, is assembled, height of father and height of son, and now we have to find whether there is any relationship between height of father and height of son. So one variable we can take as x and other variable we can take y. So height of father we have taken x and height of son we have taken as y, right? So now let's start with the question. The first thing we need to calculate is small x. To calculate small x, what do we need to do? We need to calculate mean. So to calculate mean, we have to we have to apply the formula of mean. So this is the formula for mean. So summation of x we have is 660 and n which is given to us 10 observations are there. So the mean is 66, mean of x. Mean height of father is 66. Similarly, mean height of son we have to calculate. So summation of y is 640. So the mean height of son is 64. So mean we have calculated of both x and y, son and father's height. Now we will calculate small x. To calculate small x, what we will do? 66 minus mean value, that is also 66. So 66 minus 66 is 0. 68 minus 66 is 2. 69 minus 66 is 3. 72 minus 66 is 6. 65 minus 66 is minus 1. Then 59 minus 66 is minus 7. 62 minus 66 is minus 4. 67 minus 66 is 1. 61 minus 66 is minus 5. And then we have 671 minus 66, that is 5. Now we'll calculate it square because we need square to calculate standard deviation. So x square is 0 into 0 is 0. 2 2s are 4. 9. 36. 1. 49. 16. 1. 25. 25. And its summation is 166. X square summation. Now we will calculate small y. So the mean of y is 64. So 65 minus 64 is 1. 64 minus 64 is 0. Then we have 3, 5, 0, minus 4, minus 5, plus 4, minus 4, 0. Now we'll calculate y square. One, 0, 9, 25, 0, 16, 25, 16, 16, 0. Okay. And the summation of y square is 108. Now we'll calculate xy. Small xy, basically we'll multiply these values with these values. Okay. So x into y, 0, 0, 9, 30, 0, 28, 20, 4, 20 and 0. So xy we have calculated. Now we will calculate x into y. So the summation is 111. So the first thing we need to calculate is covariance. Okay. So to calculate covariance, either we can calculate covariance or we can directly apply this formula. We can apply find covariance and then find standard deviation of x and y, or doing so much of things, rather than doing so much of calculation, we can directly apply this formula, because this formula is derived from this formula only. That's why we can apply this one directly. Okay, so here we are. So summation of xy is 111, and then summation of x square is 166, and summation of y square is 108. Now we can just solve it. So this comes as 111 divided by, when we'll multiply 166 with 108 and find its square root, the answer would be 133.89, and by dividing we'll get 0.829. So first thing is, first thing which we have interpreted with this answer is that this is a positive correlation. It means there is direct relationship, right? So if the height of fathers is good, the height of sons will also be good, right? But yes, it is not as good as fathers, because the value is less than 1. Okay, the extent is not that much. But yes, one thing we can surely interpret from this situation is that there is a positive correlation between the height of father and